Hello, I'm Ricc Rollins, and this is Going Places. Don't you want to come along? Let's go. Hello, I'm Ricc Rollins, and welcome to this edition of Going Places. We continue our celebration of Women's History Month as we continue to tell her story. And have we got stories to tell today? Take a look. We go to the movies with Alicia Stafford to see The Lost World. We talk to Dr. Tracy Thompson about Dr. Tracy's House, a special place in the neighborhood. But first up, Monique Smith Myers has a story to tell. And who better to tell her than her? Take a look. I am honored to have one of the dearest people in my life on this show. She is a sister. She's a confidant. She is a best friend. She is all that. She's been my praise and worship leader. She's been my biggest cheerleader. But most of all, she's my sister. And somebody said, well, how many sisters? I'm an only child, but I got a lot of sisters. And here's one of them. Won't you meet Monique Smith Myers? We're so glad to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Hey, everybody, I'm here.
See, and one of the reasons I want to do this today is because you're in town tonight today for Jazz on the Lawn with Annette Bradley. Mm-hmm. So I thought, hey, this just works out. This is talking about serendipitous. It works really well.
Yeah, we'll talk about it's supposed to happen. Yeah.
So let's start. Okay, so for those people that don't know, they must have been on a rock somewhere, but they don't know Monique. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about little Monique first. Tell me about you growing up.
Well, you know what? I'm a PK. So, you know,
That's a preacher's kid, in case you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of my life was spent in the church. So I had the faith base. My base was always solid and grounded. Even when I strayed away from it, it was still there. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, as life would have it, you know, when you start going through the trials and the tribulations, you always revert back to your base. Yeah. And that's what I did. So when people call me a shero when I was going through chemo, I didn't really feel like anybody's hero. I didn't. I just knew that it was part of my purpose because in my spirit, I knew that life wasn't done with me because a lot of things that I knew that I was going to do, I hadn't done them yet.
Wow.
And so I just decided, okay, you know, and every day wasn't good, but every day I decided all you got to do is get through that day.
Today. Take no thought for tomorrow because tomorrow takes
exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then, you know, 7 chemos, 6 radiations, a hysterectomy later. And you know what? I'm still here. I'm still smiling. I'm still thriving. Mm-hmm. I'm ministering in a way that I never thought that I could, that only that kind of battle could actually bring you to. But the most part, I'm still honored because people are still calling me to come sing. So, you know, this is like
why would they
Jazz on the Lawn. Well, you know, listen, the new singers are coming in. Don't get me wrong. But I think that people know that the old divas are the grounded divas. And so whenever they call, especially when I'm coming back to Tampa, whenever they call, we show up. So I think this will be my 3rd or 4th. However many years they've been doing Jazz on the Lawn, I've done it every year. And so I'm really honored, you know, and I get to see some of my peeps.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm going to try to sneak away, but you know.
Okay.
Here's the tea. We're both at work at the same time.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm listening for customers, but it's what you have to do. I think the effort is different. We do multiple things at the same time because we have to.
Exactly.
And so, you know, so I think that it's important. I'm looking forward to that. We're going to talk more about Jazz on the Lawn.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go there. You grew up as a PK. You then, I met Monique on my 34th birthday. What a present. Mm-hmm. What a gift.
Yep.
She sang happy. We didn't know each other, but she was like, there's a room full of people and he must be important. and
It
and
was
so
a room, but wait a minute, Rick. It was a room of good looking brothers. I mean, it was good looking. I was trying to hold my stomach in and and
but
seeing better.
yeah, but she sang happy birthday to me. That was the
Yep.
first day that she met Jessica. I was looking for that picture. I'm gonna find that picture again. But
Hmm.
it was, and it started from there. I mean,
It
we had
started from there.
met, but it was like we knew
Hmm.
each other instantly.
Yep.
And so we went
Exactly.
there, and we've been through
And
relationships.
how authentic that is, because not everybody gets that experience.
No,
And then here we are, over 20 some odd years
yeah,
later, you know, and we are just as close as we've, a matter of fact, we're closer
yeah,
actually.
we really are.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm so blessed. There have been pivotal moments in my life in ministry. Like I
Hmm.
said, Monique was my
Hmm.
first worship leader when we started Breath of Life, ooh,
Yep.
22 years ago.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then life happened. She met someone. She moved away,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
but we've been there through the good, the bad, and the ugly. We really
And
have.
it has been some good, some bad,
And
and
then
some
some
real
ugly.
ugly.
It's real ugly. And we ain't talking about the people either.
Exactly.
but I like I said, when you called me and you said, "Hey, I'm getting ready to go through this," I I didn't worry. You know how some people, when
Hmm.
they hear the word cancer, they begin to worry. I didn't worry
Hmm.
because I knew your faith.
Hmm.
I knew your faith. We have conversations. Monique will call me, and sometimes she just has to sound it out. So she
Yep.
says, "Yeah, I'm on the right track," and
Hmm.
she was.
Yep.
She made it through, and she lost her hair, and now
Hmm.
she's growing this. She's got this little gray thing going on, and it's just working. Because there was a
Hey,
time you
I'll be in full effect later today.
okay, but see, this is still cute. See, this is diva
Okay.
in full effect. You don't have to do nothing. See, no, but y'all saw her at Christmas time because you remember she sang on the Christmas special. So,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
oh God, you know what? We got to go to break. We'll be back right after
Okay.
this.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Arlene. Welcome to Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. What's your coffee saying? Whether in for business or just getting away, let Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks be a part of your day. A place for you to come and share thoughts and spirit through a cup of coffee. Come and enjoy with us here at Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Enjoy life one cup at a time.
Welcome back to this edition of Going Places. We continue our conversation now with Monique Smith-Myers, musical powerhouse, entrepreneur, and my sister. Take a look. My sister, Monique Smith-Myers, is in the house, and we're talking about life. We're talking about love. We're talking about all of that, and
Yep.
then some. And then we're going to talk, before we go, we're going to tell you how you can still be a part of Monique's visit to Tampa as she sings a stupid again, as always. If you've never heard, you heard it at Christmas time, but she was kind of holding back. She was a little tired. It'd been a long day. But
Hmm.
when Monique,
And that was gospel.
yep.
That
And
was gospel. We're doing some neo soul today.
you are going to you're gonna kill it. I know you're gonna kill it. So, but let's talk a little bit more. So when they told you that you had cancer, what was the first thing that came to mind?
Well, I didn't believe it because I had this picture in my mind of what somebody that has cancer, what they look like. And I saw them sickly and just looking really frail. And at that time, I was swimming 100 laps 4 nights a week out of 7 nights. And I said I couldn't have cancer. And so when she told me it was a female doctor, I said, well, if it were you, where would you go? And so she sent me there. And, the fact that they called on time, that was a God thing. And then when I went for the appointment, my husband showed me the brochure while I was filling out papers, and the surgeon was Black. And I thought, okay, well, that could or could not be a God thing. But what the definite God thing was when I opened the pamphlet to read about her, and she was a cancer survivor. I knew
that sealed the deal.
That was a God thing.
I'm in good hands. That's
yes.
Right. I'm in good hands.
Exactly.
God.
And
yes. That's a double.
Exactly. Yeah. And then once COVID hit, she personally called me and said, have Stephen bring you into the hospital. We want to get you vaccinated. And I wasn't even old enough yet. And everything was a God thing. And so you have to ask yourself, well, why am I here? And when we go through those things, it's the answer is really simple, because he's not done with us yet.
Okay.
And so every day, my goal every day is to prove that I was worthy of giving me a second chance at this thing. He wasn't expecting perfection, but you got to know that we only have one life. And, when you get to a certain age, everybody's something's going to happen to all of us. And so I felt like I was blessed. I made it all the way to 60 before anything broke on me. But what broke on me didn't break me. And I'm happy. I'm as happy as I can be. I did a private function the other night that was outdoors, and I sang for 4 hours. And I had to hire a different saxophonist, and he was like, "Oh my God, you sound just like you did, except better than you did 25 years ago when I first met you." And so that's an honor, and I don't take it, I don't take life callously. I don't let anything slip in the cracks. Everything that I do, everything that I do, the way I love, the way I give, it's all on purpose.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
The other day, it popped up somewhere in somebody else's memory that came to me. The day that we buried Mama.
Yep.
I was so uncertain until you sang. And when you sang Safe in His Arms, which was the last song that she heard on earth, I then said, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And I thank you for that moment, because that moment let me know that I was going to be all right and be able to stand there and deliver the eulogy and do all of that.
Exactly. And you did. You honored her. It was, I look back at those memories because now remember we had so many friends there.
Yeah.
And we were taking pictures and everything. And now every time somebody's birthday comes up, a picture of them comes up on their birthday. And it's always at Miss Allie's going away service. It's hilarious. But Rick, I have to ask you something. Do you recognize my necklace?
Yes, I do. It came from Artisan Row. No. Yeah, you did. Yeah.
You gave this to me. I swear to God, it's got to be 15 years ago.
Yep.
You gave this to me for my birthday. And I thought, okay, I know that I was doing the interview today. So I said, I'm going to wear green so I can put it on. Okay. So, yeah.
I appreciate you. In the few minutes that we have left.
I think we did good.
Yeah.
I think between Jessica and Jonathan, I think we did Corey, really good, Rick.
Yes.
And Corey, yes.
And Corey, you know what? Isn't life strange? You had to go through so she could know that she could go through, because right now Corey's got her own health disparities that she's going through.
Exactly.
And she has a mama who says, I know you can because I can. And that's a wonderful thing as well. Yeah. And JB,
she's doing good.
And JB is just Jonathan is just doing amazing things. I mean, we're trying to schedule a time to have him back on so we can catch up from last summer. Because every time
catch up with him, you're gonna have to catch up with him.
Yes.
So he's all over the place.
But thank God for Zoom.
Exactly.
But so tell me about the event for today.
Hey, so it's Jazz on the Lawn, and this is good. This is a good thing for me because most people would say, well, they always put the worst band on first. Well, that's not really true. They put a strong band on to start it, and they put the headline on it to finish it up. So I get to set the pace for the afternoon. I am the first band up. Okay.
You better be there on time. And we'll put the graphics.
I'll be there. Oh yeah.
No, not you. I know you're gonna be on time because this one doesn't show up late, honey. The one thing she's not gonna do is show up late. She is a true professional, and that's why her career has spanned from dance music when she was Montague. That's right, y'all. For those of you that are watching this morning, because y'all just coming in from the club, that's Montague right there. Because this airs at 5 o'clock in the morning as well. So this event benefits a educational foundation with Jeanette Bradley.
Right.
And so it's a wonderful time, but you're doing great things at the same time. Like I said, we're going to put the QR code up and you will be able to get tickets because there's still time because it's only 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. So you can get out there and have the best time. There'll be vendors. You can shop local, support big, and make this the best year yet. But sis,
it's just gonna, after the pandemic, it's just like outdoor festivals are on the rise, and and Tampa people, we get out and about, so I'm expecting to see everybody. Honestly, I am.
And they will be there because they know that Mo's back in town. Okay. Well, I thank you for being with us. I thank you because when I wanted to tell her story all month long, you were one of the stories on the top of the list, but we had to work it out, and we did. And thank you for sharing with us. And you know what? You're welcome back anytime. No,
all right.
You are. So thank you for being with us. More Going Places right after this.
Okay. All right.
Alicia Stanford, let's go to the movies. Are you ready for some belly laughs? Sandra Bullock heads up an amazing and very funny cast in The Lost City.
I need you to promote your new book on the Lost City. You can't spend your life in the bathtub drinking Chardonnay with ice.
Sandra Bullock stars as romance novelist Loretta Sage in The Lost City. She's an introvert who is forced to do a meet and greet to boost sales. The fans aren't necessarily interested in her, but they are interested in this guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world's sexiest cover model, Dash McMahon!
The plot thickens when this guy thinks Loretta may have solved an ancient mystery in her latest novel and kidnaps her.
Unchain me!
That's your seatbelt.
Dash, or Alan, which is his real name, wants to prove he's more than just a pretty face, and that's when things really start to get crazy. He comes to rescue Loretta, but there's a big old jungle they have to navigate to get to safety, and they're not even remotely prepared for it.
This is not a romance novel. Jungles eat people like us.
Ah, what is that? Get it off. Please. I can feel him sucking my soul. Rip it like a bandit. Don't make that sound. Feels like there's more.
Holy Mother of God.
They're just sucking on my butt like a big old Jamba Juice.
There's a lot in The Lost City that follows a traditional rom-com formula, but the chemistry between Bullock and Tatum is palpable. I am not a fan of slapstick or that super sparkly jumpsuit, but Bullock manages to pull off some really hilarious physical comedy, and Tatum does a great job keeping up with her. Radcliffe is excellent at being diabolical. Oh, and did I mention this guy swoops in too?
Loretta Sage, getting you out of here.
Why are you so handsome?
My dad was a weatherman.
The Lost City has earned a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, a testament to sticking with the recipe, but adding a little or even a lot of spice and sparkle.
I think Sandra Bullock is the Lucille Ball of her generation. What do you think? Let us know. The Lost City is playing only in theaters, so stay safe and healthy. I'm Alicia Stanford, and that's what's going on at the movies.
When we come back, it's off to Dr. Tracy's house we go. Right after this. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Arlene. Welcome to Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. What's your coffee saying? Whether in for business or just getting away, let Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks be a part of your day. Life is moving, visible with color, sound, and community. Enjoy a cup of coffee at Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Enjoy life one cup at a time.
I met Dr. Tracy a little while ago, right here at Ricardo's, and she began to share vision for me, and now that vision has come to fruition. Let's talk with Dr. Tracy, not only about Dr. Tracy's house, but how Dr. Tracy came to be. As we tell her story this month, I have, over the past year, encountered this young lady at least 3 different times because she supports us here at Ricardo's. So we started talking about what she does, and she began to tell me about this vision she had for something greater for the community. And it has come to fruition. I was driving down Nebraska one night and I looked over and it said Dr. Tracy's house. I was like, oh my God. And I have history with the building because, as I was telling you the other day, that wow, I wanted that building at one point. And now we're talking about collaborating and some things. We'll tell you about that another time. We're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about Dr. Tracy and Dr. Tracy's house. So won't you welcome to Going Places, the doc who is in the house, Dr. Tracy. Welcome to Going Places.
Thank you so much, Rick. I'm so glad to be here to tell you a little bit about myself and about Dr. Tracy's house.
Okay, well, go ahead. Let's start with, okay, so growing up, I always want to go back because if we're telling the story, you got to tell the whole story. So
okay.
Talk about little Tracy before she was Dr. Tracy. Did little Tracy always want to be Dr. Tracy?
I think I always wanted to be in the medical field.
Okay.
I grew up a country girl in Maryland. And
a country girl in Maryland. Wait a minute, Doc. Is that they got the country in Maryland?
Yes. There is country in Maryland. It is Western Maryland. It is just north of DC, so 270. And I grew up in Poolsville.
That sounds country. Okay.
Yes, it is. I mean, a little known fact is the area that I grew up in and born and raised, my great-great-great-grandmother actually bought the land, and it was a plantation.
Wow.
Yes, it was one of Ox-La-Chapelle is one of the largest plantations in Western Maryland, and she bought it in 1884.
Wow.
Yes.
So your grandmother was okay. So I'm 1884. Okay.
That was my great-great-great-grandmother.
Buying property in 1884.
Yes.
Well, she was a trailblazer. I'm
yes.
Okay, because I'm trying to. Okay, we got emancipated. Okay, okay. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you grew up.
My mom was a nursing assistant in a nursing home, and always around people, everybody who was sick. We would visit them in the hospital. So I was always around there in a more nurturing and caring role.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until I was probably about seventh grade, I was babysitting for a retired nurse. And she told me in seventh grade that I was smarter than some of the doctors she knew, and that I should be a doctor. And from there, I was like, okay, I'll be a doctor. And that's what happened.
For the past 2 weeks, we had Rosalind Rice on, and she talked
Mm-hmm.
about the power of one. And we were talking about the power of one word. But look at how the power of one person changed the whole trajectory of your life by simply telling you that you should be. Not you
Correct.
could be, that you should be. Wow, that is amazing.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Yes.
Okay, so this was a person that you said so she was a retired nurse.
Yeah, she was a retired nurse. I got paid $2 an hour.
Oh, wow.
to help her. I would, watch her kids, read books to them while, her and her husband went out for, Friday nights. And that's what I did. And it was good because it was, in my mind, that was good pay. If I got $10 for the night, that was good. Yeah. Wow. Yes. So this person tells you that you should be a doctor. So in your mind, it's like, okay. And I said, okay. And to me, I grew up, you think about it, Head Start. I started in school with my sister, who's 18 months older than me. When she went to Head Start, I went to Head Start too, as you know. So I went to Head Start twice. So I was in school since I was 2. And I loved school. I loved reading. I was one of those teachers' pets. So I just loved school. And
that's why we get along. Yeah. Okay.
And so for me, it was natural. I was always around people who were telling me to do more, whether it was in the library and reading about people doing more, the Harlem Renaissance. I remember reading about that in elementary school. So to me, it was something, if someone says something, I didn't know that it would be a phenomenal achievement. I just said, okay. And that's what I did.
It's amazing how one word, okay, gave you permission to do that. Well, thank you for joining us for this edition of Going Places. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Remember, next week we continue our conversation with Dr. Tracy about Dr. Tracy's house, and we'll have much more in store. For everyone here at Going Places, thanks for joining us. Take care.